Also, I'm really curious where we're going with these clown shoes.
And that's
Clown college, Mom. Never coming back. You never believed in me.
Fun fact, Shockmaster from Spider-Man character fiction was introduced, much like Harley Quinn was introduced in his cartoon. I think, well, specifically, they could not, for whatever reason, put in, Electro in the cartoon, so they put in Shockmaster.
Sure.
Maybe because his costume was too silly, so they replaced him with a character named the Shockmaster? Oh no, it might have been just Shocker.
It was just Shocker.
Okay, yeah.
With his, like,
I'm thinking of fucking Earthquake and/or Typhoon, I think.
Alright, yeah.
There's a particular surface you can lie down on in Metal Gear Solid 4 that gives you a camo that looks a lot like the Shocker.
Huh.
It's not an intentional reference, it just looks a lot like it. It just has that sort of padding with the color outside.
Max, you know of the Shockmaster?
I don't think so.
Matt, you explain to it. You're better at explaining things.
I barely understand. I barely
okay,
understand
so
it. Like,
WCW was a wrestling company, and they brought in this guy who was like a kind of a well-known wrestler, and they wanted to do a different gimmick with him.
Oh, did he just eat it coming out on stage? Is that a thing?
That's part of it.
Okay, that's the only thing I know. Continue.
Alright, so he...
Oh shit, right, this guy.
So in his debut, they needed a mask. But I guess they had trouble, so Dusty Rhodes just got a fucking Stormtrooper mask from Star Wars and put a bunch of blue glitter on it. And that would kind of wreck the things as much, but when he was introduced, he was supposed to come through a wall, but he tripped on a 2x4 on the way in and fell in head over tea kettle. His mask briefly fell off. And then he had to put this mask, which was a Stormtrooper mask covered in glitter on. And basically the gimmick was dead on arrival.
That's a pretty good gimmick to have, dead on arrival.
Yeah, if you look up Shockmaster on Google Images, you can find the Stormtrooper mask.
I only know all of this because there's a reference to it in Lisa. There's a character called Shocklord that his attack is just tripping and falling on your enemies.
You know, it makes sense that Lisa would have pro wrestling memes in that game.
Lisa's full of fucking pro wrestling memes. The guy who makes it is really into wrestling and martial arts.
I mean, also, just, it fits that game's aesthetic.
It really does. The toxic masculinity.
Just fucking a bunch of slightly chubby but also want to be swole dudes with receding hairlines. That's wrestling in, like, the early 90s, late 80s. Like, WCW's tagline was, "This is where the big boys play." Because you were either kind of a chubby boy, or you were juiced out of your mind, or you were some cruiserweight jobber.
Which is also funny, because that's exactly what you could say about, like, Disney Channel when you're setting your kid up to watch. Okay, this is where the big boys play, now play nice.
Max, who's your favorite WCW wrestler?
I don't fucking know wrestlers.
Was it Black Scorpion?
Oh, Black Scorpion's my favorite.
Now, did he ever get over here?
No, he did stage magic.
He stage magic, and he was a mysteriously person from Sting's past who turned out to be Ric Flair.
Yeah, and like anytime he showed up, he didn't do any wrestling. He just did stage magic.
I mean,
for like
was
10
it
minutes.
better, Matt? Was it better stage magic than Ultimate Warrior stage magic? Where he appeared in the rear to Hulk Hogan, but only Hulk Hogan could see him, not Eric Bischoff, but the people at home could see him!
I want to note we passed by one of the new viable hammers that is just a turtle shell tied to a stick. A truly fearsome weapon. A weapon to defeat Metal Gear.
I missed the turtle hammer. I'll have to roll back the footage.
Also, the announcers saw him in the mirror briefly, but then they said they didn't see him in the mirror.
Yeah, no, that was it's not. I think that was the point where WCW was like really on the decline.
I think the official point is where the finger poke of Dude, but that is one of the many moments. Because at least at that point, they still had Goldberg.
Yeah, before they wrecked him.
Yeah.
No, I think the point that marks the beginning of WCW's decline is when Eric Bischoff challenged Vince McMahon to a match on pay-per-view and trained for it like he was going
after
to.
the fast slow count?
I can't remember. I just know that Eric Bischoff spent months training for a fight against Vince McMahon like it was going to happen.
Like, similarly, TNA did a challenge, like, they had, the Voodoo Kid Mafia challenge DX or anyone from WWE to a fight, and Dixie Carr legitimately throws $1 million of assets for it.
I guess at least he committed
perfect.
to it.
Match is just right.
Dixie Carter is a lady. You can tell because no one...
Not enough paint.
Dixie is too a southern name that a man would never take it, you know?
I bet these homeowners are just gonna love their house looking like a reverse olive.
No,
The pimento wrapped around the green.
Because we finally got the last checkpoint, and...
Oh, hello. This place is back to its old self.
So those stores were always there!
They were always there. Ready for your chimichanga enjoyment. Please come have a Cinnabon.
He's always had a tailor in his nose.
Here's a token of my gratitude.
I miss not selling out.
Oh boy.
You got pollen.
We got a gun!
The Jurak gun is actually pretty good.
Yes, it's like the first tier of the laser guns. Which are the
Yes, the tree gave us a tree-based laser gun.
Well, it's gonna shoot solar beam.
No, I know
What?
I know it's the thing. It's just something else.
Yeah, no, it's great. And he used his prehensile nose to shoot it at us.
Glad everything's back to normal. Now I can peddle weapons off of this tree's eyebrow.
So I could buy the dark coin here if I had money.
Yeah, and the indestructible
Good
coin at
money.
the other spot.
Yeah. Money.
Also, I like that Donnie is apparently trying to collect a coin from 100 years in the future.
Well, it's very rare. I think you could find them in the field, too.
You can get them through a few ways. The clown can give them to you. Because remember, coins are not just, oh, these are items that you give to Donnie. They're also things you can put on your weapons to give them, like, special qualities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, the indestructible coin has something based about their durability. I think it's just decreased durability loss.
Yeah. The dark coin, I think, increases dark. Or it might even fuck up your weapons. I don't know. There might be coins that fuck up your weapons.
I don't think there are. I think all the coins are good. I might be wrong.
Because I know
I'm
there are
pretty sure.
negative stat effects that you can get on your weapons.
That is definitely true, but I don't
Like
think
the
the
purple-
coins do that. They
Maybe
might,
I
though.
just
That
want.
might be the worst.
Maybe I want to do my fucking broken sword hilt run, Max.
Maybe I wanted to curse my real sword.
Oh, man.
What? What's the problem there?
I mean... No, we're not gonna... we're not getting into this.
Fine, we'll just enchant it with
I
fire
was gonna
magic.
fill the
I see how
entire
it is.
rest of the video if we do that.
I don't see what's the problem, Matt. No.
What's the problem with what?
Cursing a real sword.
Ah.
Well, luckily, all
However,
these
we
games...
can flame enchant a sword and knock that out right over the weekend.
Also, these aren't real swords. They're wrenches.
Though Monica has real swords.
They're bits and beats.
It's powerful, but just a bit plain.
Yeah, it's just a bit plain when you fire a fucking laser.
Out of this oak.
Get
Yeah,
for that
out of
vintage
this-
look.
Out of this chunk of wood.
We need a
mahogany
lightning
gun.
stick. It
A
needs
lightning-
exorcism and lightning, so you need to zap the Christ into them with this piece of wood.
Well, now we can probably go back to do the guns only challenges and somewhere in... I don't know. Are there some of those in the sewer, or are they only in Rainbow Butterfly Wood?
I don't recall. The challenges generally are not things you memorize in the long run because it's just a go do it.
Sure.
They're not. None of them, after you get to a certain point, are particularly hard. They're just rude at first. You just need really good... Yeah, there you go.
It even has the pew pew. Oh, that's great.
Ah, the Flash Gordon.
Wow, yeah. This is just wrecking dudes.
I don't know why you're shooting them. They're happy to see us. They're giving us a big old smile and everything.
Giving us a big old smile and a knife.
They're just so happy to offer us like the excellent blacksmithing services around here, showing off pieces of the work.
They just want us to have some of this cake.
Really, I mean, it's rude of you to like try and deal with them before they can slice off a piece of this good old cake.
Time coin.
Time coin.
Time coin. Oh, time coins. Oh no.
Oh no, Charlie vanished into the time coin dimension.
Yeah, this Discord's been having issues.
He coined that it was time to leave.
Man, I need to finish up Sluggish Morse again sometime.
What is Sluggish Moors?
I don't know how to describe it.
That's something to exist. Oh, Dog Statue, my favorite enemy.
We did a Let's Play a couple of years ago.
Have we seen Dog Statue yet?
Oh my god.
It's a transformer
oh my god, I
made
love
of
this.
like this is a rock, but it has wings for some reason.
I love it.
If you can get them like
so
mid-process of transformation, I think is the one. Forgetting its scoop. It's either that or like when it leaps, but I'm pretty sure it's mid-transformation. They're not even particularly rough of enemies. They're just the dog statue.
Just dog statue.
It's a good old dog statue.
Oh, you killed the dog statue.
Aw, shame. Don't worry, there's plenty of dog statues around here. People are really into their dogs.
It's like that, what is it? I think there's I'm just reminded of that one in Japan of the dog that was just there every single day.
Hachiko?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
we
a
got a
million
rolling log.
knockoffs. Just some really enlightened person came in one day. He's like, I would like to order 1 million god statues, and the guy didn't hear him right. Just took down the note wrong. Gotcha, I'll get right on that. And then this happened. Really though, no one was disappointed.
I need them to look like blocks and then immediately transform into dogs.
Well, see,
flying dogs.
when he was talking about the god statue, like, of course God was, like, he detailed that God had to have wings, like all the angels did. They were so precious to him. And he's like, got it. Dogs are precious to you, I understand. He made a good boy. A good flying boy.
Not enough syllables.
You're a smart boy.
Max.
It's the same.
How many
I'm gonna-
syllables in fire, Max?
One.
Oh man, we got our mapping for the floor. All right. I'm
Are
just
you
gotta
sure?
push.
As long as you're not saying it's fire, yeah.
Well, fire.
Flying higher. I guess, yeah, it actually is 2 in some ways, but play is definitely not 2.
Play.
That's extending it, that's...
Play. Let us play.
Let us play.
Yes. This is a fine Let Us Play we are currently part of.
Fine butter, let us play.
Delicious.
And
Oh,
organic.
by the way, do you see that thing I just retweeted?
No.
No, I
The
watched
80s
this
were a
video.
fucked up time. Because, you know, when my power went out 3 times in a row, I had time to look on
Oh
Twitter.
man, our inventory's actually full.
No, I don't think so. No,
It
just
said we
pull
couldn't
that
carry
one
any
item.
more items.
No, that you can only carry a certain amount of a certain item.
Ah, okay.
You can only carry a certain amount of breads.
You have a
Nope, you
nigh
can't lift
infinite
it.
amount of
Also, I love Dog Statue.
They are quite efficient. But yeah, you have a nigh infinite amount of discrete pockets ready for you and all your tasty treats. But you know, you can't load up on too much one now. That's just being greedy.
Yeah, there's you have a discrete pocket for every treat, and that pocket eventually fills up.
But you must practice moderation, but you are encouraged to try variety. The spice of life.
Bread.
What's your favorite spice?
Scary.
Oh god, but for real, like garlic.
I like garlic, but also, does salt count as a spice?
I wouldn't consider
salt
salt a spice. Spice is really any sort of other seasoning. Salt is just kind of a universal basic.
I heard the opposite from Zach once. Like, no, salt, and like he was very insistent that salt was a spice.
He's incredibly wrong. It is a seasoning, but there's a much big difference than spice and seasoning. Because salt is just kind of an expected thing for everything that isn't just like a raw piece of fruit, you know? Salt goes with...
salted fruit.
Salt, I mean, there's natural salt in fruit, and salted fruit is fine. Like, people do that with watermelon, but my point being is that if you're not just having it straight up like that, almost everything else you'll ever have will have salt in it. There is actually a way how salt alters the chemistry level, like at the molecular level of how things are structured, and therefore changes how they taste to your tongue. It's a big reason, like when on cooking shows, they'll talk about like something being under-seasoned. They always mean under-salted when they say under-seasoned, unless they call for another ingredient.
Well, yeah, I just also know, yeah, that's one of the sections of your tongue. It tastes like salt, sugar-free, soury, and
bitter, and yeah, and they're
Umami is
one
what
else
you're thinking of. There was a long meme, well, not meme, I guess, but rumor for a while, I don't know, falsehood, urban legend, that your tongue was separated into sections that tasted those. That's a blatant lie. However, those are the different types of flavors and how they mix together.
yeah, and then also the what is it, umami,
Yes, umami.
which is different than savory.
Wait, is umami an actual word?
Yeah, it's a Japanese
It's a
one.
Japanese word.
Because they're the ones who like really studied this as a thing before we thought about it over here. And it's
Well,
that
yes,
kind of,
because they're
it's the
also the
earthy,
ones who will eat
it's the earthy
anything
flavor.
out of the sea.
It's really an earthy flavor. Comes up with things that are like mushrooms, certain types of red meat, a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Interestingly, of course, though, is that spicy is not a flavor. It is literally your just body saying, "Ow, that hurts."
Yeah,
Wow,
your
this is
body's
acid.
saying, "This is acid. I'm going to make you pump you full of feel-good stuff, so you feel better about eating all
A lot
this
of capsaicins
acid."
aren't even necessarily acid. People mix them with acids to make them give them certain types of flavor. A lot of capsaicin is just a thing that triggers your nerves to be like, "What the fuck?"
It's enough like acid. That
Acids
is,
will
like,
dissolve it. I mean, there is similar qualities to it, but they're different.
well, I mean, it's like allergies.
So why does-
your
so why does-
body's thinking
so-
like stuff is germs when it's not.
So why does milk affect it?
Milk is like
Milk's-
it is very basic, I think.
The idea of milk is it's not anything about acid. The milk is that being the type of fatty lipid that it interacts with the oil and kind of coats over some of the areas that may feel otherwise painful. It technically doesn't eliminate the heat. Like if you wash out your mouth after you use milk, you're gonna get the same heat again. It'll just make it feel better.
Yeah, and also, yeah, where water will just spread it around.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
because oil.
Cold will numb it. Since it is the pepper oil that's giving you the issues to begin with, lemon is actually a thing that partially helps neutralize on an actual chemistry
Oh,
level.
so that's why they put a lemon in my drink whenever I go out to eat Mexican.
So
Well,
yeah, but worth noting that is an acid. So yeah, it's not acid interacting with something else. Like
Huh.
capsaicin is very different than acid.
But what about acid?
That's a good question. Depends on how numbed you get when you're tripping balls, I guess.
How much milk do you want to drink while you're tripping?
All
straight from the cow, man.
If I'm not getting those unpasteurized diseases, I'm not living life, man.
Has Steve always looked that angry?
Maybe. Listen, according...
he's his own man. We don't choose what he feels like. Don't tell him how to feel.
According to various white supremacists, milk is a sign of genetic superiority. Because despite the fact that people who are not lactose intolerant can come from also, like, any place that has a big milk diet, like, I don't know, the middle of India or...
Mongolia?
Yeah.
Mongolia, probably, yeah. I just know enough of
Unsurprisingly, people that are willfully ignorant about stuff don't know about milk.
Well, because another one of the big ones is, you know, the big place for milk drinking is, like, Northern Europe. Because, in fact, that's the Romans would consider people barbaric for drinking milk from a cow or goat. But, you know, also, like, fucking East Africa and shit.
That's why it blows everybody's mind in Thermae Rome.
Can't believe you brought Thermae Rome into this house, Matt.
I can't believe we haven't brought it up for like 20-something episodes.
Listen.
I can't believe I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's an anime. Well, it's a manga and a...
Oh, fuck, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's the bathhouse anime.
Where a guy from ancient Rome goes to a bathhouse in modern-day Japan and retroactively invents things.
The first hot tub time machine.
Holy shit, yeah, it is. What are we doing here?
I am routinely checking to make, because in this area you can miss certain chests if you do things. Like, they'll go away.
They build quite high, so yeah, you actually need to check more frequently. It's one of the just kind of unfortunate game design
it's also in this specific area, if you don't get them, they'll go away and get replaced by different ones. And you can lose the ability to get those specific chests forever. It's a glitch in the game.
That kind of sucks.
And I think I missed them anyway, despite my repeated checking.
You're telling me this isn't 100% run? Fucking unsubscribed.
Listen, after I'm done with the main story, I might stream the bonus dungeon.
I might bone the
it's worth doing.
dungeon.
The bonus dungeon is something else.
I mean, I have to show off the exploding skeleton dudes.
Oh man, voice unit for the ride pod.
The most important upgrade.
Which we'll get to next time.
Wow, if I didn't want to come back before, I'd certainly want to now.
Yeah, no, I want to hear the ride pod voice now. It's gonna be a good time.
Okay, prediction. What do you think the accent is, Matt?
I imagine very metallic. Like, I got a robot-y voice for it, so of course it's going to surprise me and be like the friggin' Yeti who's got, like, the Bastion guy voice.
I guess we'll see next time.
Well,
Hey.
Hey.
It actually sounds like Fonzie.